A sigh, the rustle of silk, a delicate chime, a young woman's voice imbued with a weary, almost ancient sadness. Oh, darling, you wouldn't believe. It began, as these things always do, with a promise. A shimmering, curated promise, all glossy photos and assurances of bliss. All-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino adult only, Madame Carty. The name itself felt affected, didn't it? Like a faded debutante clinging to a title, I thought, finally, a place that understands. A sanctuary for discerning souls. How utterly, achingly wrong I was. You see, I've always believed in the details. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was a dressmaker in Kiev. You understand, she'd say. The seam is where the devil hides, little bird. And it's true, isn't it? It's always the tiny, overlooked imperfections that unravel everything. Like a single dropped stitch in a magnificent tapestry. And this place, it was unraveling before I even set foot on the grounds. It started with the air. The moment the taxi, a scandalous $90 for 3 of us and another $5 per bag. Can you imagine the audacity? Deposited us, a miasma descended. Not a fresh, salty sea breeze, no, this was something else. A cloying sweetness underscored by a creeping rot, like a forgotten bouquet left to fester in a darkened room. Rotten eggs, they said, dead fish. Honestly, darling, it smelled like a broken dream. A premonition, really. I remember thinking, even then, this isn't just unpleasant, it's disrespectful. To present someone with such an assault on the senses. It's barbaric truly, and the resort itself, oh, the photos. They depicted a vibrant haven, a sun-drenched paradise. The reality was a ghost town, an echoing emptiness that pressed down on you. Like wandering through a ballroom after the last waltz, knowing the music will never play again. It lacked life, you see, that essential spark. The furniture looked like it hadn't been touched in decades, covered in a film of something. Dust, perhaps. Or regret. The whole place felt tired, like it had simply given up. The paint was peeling, the floors were scuffed, and there was this pervading sense of decay. It's not just about aesthetics, though, is it? It speaks to a fundamental lack of care, a disregard for the experience of the guest. It's a statement, really. We don't value you. And the beach, oh, the beach, that was the true heartbreak. It wasn't a beach, it was a sargassum graveyard. An endless, undulating carpet of seaweed, thick and brown and smelling well like the air, only intensified. You couldn't swim, darling, absolutely couldn't. It wasn't just inconvenient, it was a betrayal. I booked a beach vacation. A promise of turquoise waters and sun-kissed skin. Instead, I got a biohazard. And the worst part, they didn't warn you. On the website, it was all breezy assurances of periodical occurrences. A lie, of course. The staff, when pressed, admitted it was a summer thing. It's dishonest, isn't it, to lure people in with a false image of paradise. To take their money knowing full well they're going to be confronted with this. I mean, it's predatory, and the food. Oh, don't even, you see, I'm not a fussy eater. I appreciate simple, honest cuisine. But this was an affront to the very concept of nourishment. Limited, bland, sometimes alarmingly cold. The buffet was tragic. It tasted like a hospital cafeteria attempting a beach theme. School lunch quality, my darling, truly. And the one nice restaurant, Tuscany, it was a cruel mirage. Open only twice a week, and even then, it was a gamble. We made a reservation, dressed up, anticipating a moment of civilized respite, only to find the doors locked, a hastily scrawled sign announcing its cancellation. No explanation, no apology, just nothing. It was deeply, deeply upsetting. You build anticipation, invest emotional energy, and then it's just snatched away. It's not just the food, it's the symbolism. It represents a fundamental law.
CK of respect for your time, your desires.
I'm looking into crimes near all-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino adult only, Madame Carty, and honestly, it's making me so sad. You know, it's like people come to this beautiful place to relax and have a good time, and then they get scammed. It's just so unfair. Businesses near all-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino adult only, Madame Carty are like super friendly and welcoming, but sometimes they can also be super shady. Like, there was this one incident where a tourist got ripped off by a souvenir shop. They sold them a bunch of fake stuff, like authentic jewelry and handmade crafts, but it was all just cheap knockoffs. I'm guessing the tourist was so excited to take some memories back home that they didn't even notice. Can you imagine how they felt when they got back to their hotel and realized they'd been ripped off? It's like you trusted these people and they just took advantage of you. I'm sure they were so upset, you know? And then there was this other time when a group of tourists got scammed by a fake taxi service. They claimed to be official, but really, they were just some random guys with a car. They took the tourists on a wild goose chase around the island, charging them exorbitant prices for the tour. I'm guessing the tourists were so confused and frustrated, they just wanted to get back to their hotel and forget the whole thing. But like, can you blame them? Who expects to get scammed by a taxi service? It's just so wrong. It's like tourists come to all-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino adult only, Madame Carty to have a good time, and then they get taken advantage of by these shady businesses. It's so sad, you know. I just wish people could be honest and kind to each other. But I guess that's just not the world we live in.
Businesses near the all-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino adult only, Madame Carty, a mixed bag of disappointment and frustration. As I delve into the reviews, I'm left with a sense of dismay, a feeling of what could have been. It's like expecting a sunny day at the beach, only to find dark clouds and a cold breeze. Let's start with the accommodations. The Fred, a hotel that promises much but delivers little. Guests are greeted with broken promises, like a beautiful ocean view that turns out to be a parking lot nightmare. The rooms, underwhelming with too few chairs and a general sense of neglect. And don't even get me started on the customer service or lack thereof. It's like trying to get blood from a stone, only to be met with a shrug and a not my problem attitude. But the Fred isn't the only culprit. Brew SDX, a brewery and restaurant combo, serves up a plate of disappointment with a side of bad service. Food takes forever to arrive, and when it does, it's a flavorless, over-salted mess. And don't even get me started on the beer. It's like they took all the excitement and joy out of craft brewing and replaced it with a bland, uninspired product. And then there's Vyce Nightclub, a place that's more confusing than a puzzle box. With reviews that are as sparse as a desert landscape, it's hard to get a read on what this place is even about. Is it a club? Is it a bar? Is it a sad, abandoned shell of a business? One thing's for sure, it's not exactly a hotspot. But amidst all this disappointment, there's Cultured Naturals Body Care, a shop that promised the world and delivered. Well, not much. With a website that says one thing and a storefront that says another, it's like they're playing a game of bait and switch. And when you finally do manage to get in, the products are probably not worth the hassle. As I read through these reviews, I'm left with a sense of frustration, a feeling of why bother. It's like these businesses are just going through the motions, collecting money from unsuspecting tourists without putting in the effort to provide even a mediocre experience. But I'm not one to give up easily. I believe that even the most lackluster business can turn things around with a bit of effort and a willingness to listen. So, to all the business owners near the all-inclusive Divi Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino, adult only Madame Carty, I say this. Take a hard look at your operation.